So guys, Saturday morning, time for another ride. I'm out at a place up in the Meteor mountains called Fuente Caputa, and it's a place where there's a natural spring emanates out the ground. Starts at a bit of a trickle, as you can see, babbling away down here in the brook. So it starts a bit further up behind the bridge at the top there, just bubbles out the ground, and it starts to flow down, further down and down and down. Goes through various ponds and little pools, very picturesque, and you can walk maybe, I don't know, 2-3 kilometers along the valley that you can see in the distance there. And when you get to the end, you come to a large deposit. It's been man-made with a water pumping station over the top that pumps water around the local area. Yeah, absolutely a beautiful place to visit, and very, very scenic. And if I move a bit further across these rocks and over the way, I'm not sure if you can see one of the lakes. It bubbles down into small pools, but it's a stunning place to visit. What I'll do, I'll get the drone out, I'll take some drone footage of the large lake at the bottom, and you can see what I mean basically. So along the valley there, 3-kilometer trek along the valley, you see in the distance there, you can see one of the lakes, small pools. So this place in the summer is pretty popular. As you can imagine, it gets to 40 odd degrees here, and we get a lot of people from this local area coming. And the lake at the end, or the pool at the end I should say, is very, very deep. Nobody knows how deep it is. I would think well over 20 meters deep, and there's a mountain at the side of it, and you get the kids jumping off 10, 15, 20 meters off the cliffs into the pool. Absolutely crazy, but good way to cool off in the summer and a good place to come for a picnic. So yeah, what I'm going to do later on, I'll do some filming on the drone. I'll head up the pass over the top there, look up over the mountain, and that takes us to the other side of the Sierra Duricotti, which is the mountains that I live in. And when we get to the other side of the Sierra Duricotti, you come down onto flat plain lands that lead over towards Meteor city in the distance. Got some beautiful wide sweeping roads to take the Super Meteor on. So yeah, there she is guys. Absolute gem of a bike, beautiful to ride. I was out yesterday on the V-Strom. I had a good ride on the V-Strom yesterday and really enjoyed that. Yeah, so I'm, like I say in previous videos, I'm very lucky to have the two bikes. Still in two minds on the new Himalayan. I do miss my old Himalayan. As you can see from the landscape around here, I've said in previous videos, the V-Strom, it's okay, but the trails that go up, like the fire trail, there's a fire trail going up there in the mountains. When I had the Himalayan 411, I used to do all these trails around the back here and up the other side of the waterfall and around the back. And they're not overly technical, but when you're knocking on a bit in years like I am, they take it out your legs a bit if you're standing up all the while or going over rough terrain. But they're easily doable. But with the V-Strom, not a great difference in weight in the V-Strom, but what you got to remember with the V-Strom, it's a full-size bike. It's not a small bike at all in stature. It's lighter than this bike, and it's not much heavier than the Himalayan, maybe 20 kilo heavier than the Himalayan. But the difference is you jump on this bike, it's so easy to ride. It's just a joy to ride, especially around the bends and the turns and the twisties. For quite a long rake bike and the style of bike it is, it actually handles extremely well. Yeah, so I'll talk a bit in the video when I get past the drone footage of the Fuente Caputa main pool, and I'll talk about what's been going on with the latest Royal Enfield releases, and I'll do that as an over voice when I'm on the road the other side of the mountain. But yeah, some interesting times. One thing I'll probably mention is the new shotgun and what you guys think of it. Bearing in mind, I think this bike's a stunning, well-built bike. So yeah, I'll leave this video at this point. I'll go and do some filming of the different waterfalls and the other side, and I'll continue the video later when I'm on the bike doing a circuit. So guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch up with you later on the ride. guys, on and upwards, leaving Fuente Caputa, and I'll take you over the top of the mountain, up around the passes, and we'll get over the other side. Yes, all in all, a pretty stunning spot, especially in the summer when it's extremely warm. Lots of people get down there and picnic and use the water to bathe and paddle, and kids, dogs, people walking, etc. Yeah, so this is the pass over the top of this Sierra di Ricotti. So it's a ridge of mountains that run from the valley of Ricotti, and over the other side is Fortuna, Arcena, and a few other places. So it's like a spine of a mountain range. So we're going up over the top now to the other side. Vastly different, you'll notice, on a lot of these mountains in this part of Spain, in Murcia. The north and south facing side of the mountains are very, very different. So the north side of the mountain, as you're looking north, tend to be very sparse because the sun's hitting them all day from the south. And the southern side of the mountain, that's hidden behind the mountain from the sun, tends to be fairly tree lined and protected from the sun, so you get quite a bit of growth, as you can see going over the tops here. Yeah, so a lot going on in the bike world, especially with Royal Enfield and Triumph and other makes, and really interesting watching the different reviews from the Milan show and also from the Birmingham NEC. And yeah, positive reviews on the Himalayan 452 now it's been released. We're getting some proper information of how it goes, how it runs, what sort of mileage it does per gallon. It's supposed to be really fugal from what I've been seeing. One guy's posting 30 kilometres per litre, so that's 5 litres, which is just over a gallon. 4.5 litres is a gallon, so he's knocking on over 90 mile per gallon, I would think, which is cracking out of a bike that you can commute on and go on a bit of an adventure on as well. Yeah, the other thing that struck me that I was talking about before was the shotgun and the unveiling of the shotgun with the big fanfare and all the rest of it over there in India. And obviously the prices are really, really cheap compared to Europe. The prices have been released for the Himalayan range, which comes in 3 different varieties in the UK and in Europe, and on the exchange rate they're probably double what they are in India. I would think in India you're probably looking at no more than €3,000 for the Himalayan. In Europe we're going to be well over 6,000 looking at it. So yeah, interesting times. Still a cheap bike when you consider all the other bikes in the market. When you consider that you can get 3 bikes, you can get a Super Meteor, you can get the Himalayan and a Classic, and still have change out of what you spend on something like a GS or any of the other high-end bikes, to be honest. So yeah, still crazy stupid value for money. Yeah, a lot was said at the NEC about the quality difference between the Royal Enfield Himalayan and the Triumph 400, and to my mind I think the Triumph 400, as a lot of people said, is just going to be a weekend toy for a lot of people. It's a baby brother of the other scrambler ranges, and it looks exactly the same as the other scramblers. There's no real difference, to be honest. Visually it just looks like it's bigger siblings. But yeah, what do you guys think about the shotgun? I wasn't blown away by the unveiling and the walk around and the talk about it, and the fact that they mentioned that the price is going to come in somewhere between the Interceptor and the Super Meteor, so it's going to be an intermediate price. And I can see why. A lot of it's cut down, a lot of bits different to it, to the Super Meteor. What I did notice, the front end seemed a bit skinny, if anything. I know the Super Meteor seems really chunky on the front end, and a good overall, solid build overall. I know that the shotgun is going to have the same chassis. It's basically the same bike, really, just changed a few components on it and switched around a bit, but it'd be interesting to see how it's received. I noticed that there was 25 models up for a raffle type auction on the unveil to the first 25 people who wanted it, but it's out for general release within the next couple of weeks, so obviously India will get it first and it will come to Europe in the spring, I would think. So yeah, I don't know which direction Royal Enfield's going. They seem to be pushing for a lot of different variations of all the models at the moment. They're obviously famous, as most of us have got into Royal Enfields, for the classic bikes, but now they're branching out into other areas and being competitive with the other brands. I wonder in some ways whether that'll affect their brand exclusivity with regards to the appeal they've got. I mean, the Interceptor has been a massive global success, and I suppose the Himalayan has to a large extent. They've sold a massive amount of bikes. When you consider that, a few years back, going back to 2016, they were struggling. I mean, when I first bought my 500 Classic, the Royal Enfield brand they were getting bikes out there, and they were starting to get different footholds in different dealerships with a dedicated storefront, but nothing like the meteoric rise that they've had over the last 7 years. And part and parcel of that is obviously the Himalayan as well, coming out in 2018. So it'd be interesting to see if they keep up the momentum and the company keeps on rising as it has done in the past, and they keep having this success. But the way it's looking and the build quality, I'm a very keen and ardent follower of Royal Enfield, and I'm quite happy with my Super Meteor. I've got no intention of selling that at all. It's going to be something I'll keep for a very long time, I think. Yeah, so the Super Meteor, where am I with it? It's still not had its first service, and I've now done 800 kilometres. I know a lot of you will be gasping and saying, well, it should have gone at 500. But my local dealership told me 1,000, and I've spoke to the guy in the dealership a week or so ago, and he's saying, nope, you won't void your warranty, it's okay, bring it in when it's around 1,000 and we'll get it done, and you'll be okay for another 7,500 kilometres after that. So I'm not too worried. I'd like the running oil dropped as soon as possible, and I did think of dropping it myself and changing the filter, but it seems to be going okay, and everything's running okay. There's nothing showing any signs of blipping or running foul anywhere. So yeah, another few hundred kilometres worn out, but I may well get it in for a revision towards the end of this week if I can. The problem with the local Royal Enfield dealership in Meteor, they want 2.5 hours to do the revision, and it's nowhere near anything. So what I may do is take the car with the bike trailer on, drop it off, go into Meteor, do a bit of shopping with the wife, and then go back and pick it up later on. Yeah, so how am I finding the Super Meteor? Well, every time I ride it, I really like it. It's like I've said, it's a gem to ride. It's so smooth, the gearbox is nice and smooth. Could it do with a few more ponies? Now that is the question. Well, it couldn't. I mean, it's okay. I don't have any qualms with it. It'll do highway speeds all day long. It's not a super fast bike, and I was saying to someone was asking me about it, how does it ride, how does it feel? Well, to me it feels like a very small bike, and I know that sounds crazy considering the weight, but when I ride it, and this may be jumping off the V-Strom, which is a full-size bike. I know the V-Strom's only 650 as well, but it's in the same weight, size and overall build size as a GS, etc. So it may be my perception of coming off the coming off the V-Strom and jumping onto the SM, that I feel it's small, but I feel it rides small. You know, to me it feels like a small bike to ride. It's a great bike all round for anybody who's got an A2, I suppose, who's just passed the test and they want to get a bike. It's a great bike for women. I'm not being sexist in any way here, but it's a superb easy bike to ride. And in the local Royal Enfield distributor, they release photographs of all the sales they're making. They put them on their Facebook site, and I would say that at least 7 out of 10 people buying the Super Meteor are women. European women living here in Spain, a few Spanish women I've seen, 2 women going in together and pulling out Super Meteors. So yeah, it's a good all-rounder for everyone to ride. What I like about it is it's one of them bikes you don't really have to think about riding. You can enjoy it. It's not intimidating in any way, and it's really, really fun and nice to ride. Yeah, so lots going on. What are your thoughts on everything, guys? I know a lot of you guys watching this will be Royal Enfield fans. So what do you think about the Triumph range, the 400 range that's come out? What do you think about the CF Moto 450? I'm waiting for a review on that. A ride review, I mean, to actually get a ride on it. And I've also put my name down on the Royal Enfield website, so I'm down for an early ride on the Royal Enfield Himalayan when it comes out, and really looking forward to it. So you can see where I'm riding around in the mountains. It's stunning, stunning scenery. I'm heading back up into the mountains where I live now, and you can see why I was so enamoured with the Royal Enfield 411. And you know, I haven't been on any dual carriageways or motorways on this ride out, so you know, I could get by with just doing scoots around the local area, but I do motorway riding as well, so hence the problem with the 411. But yeah, guys, give me your thoughts, give me your ideas of whether you're going to dob any of your Royal Enfields in to get the new breed of Enfield. I mean by the new breed, the new Himalayan. Are you going to get the shotgun rather than getting the Super Meteor? With that, I mean, they're both going to be cruiser style bikes, or you know, perceived as cruiser style bikes. So I don't know really whether you prefer a single bobber style cruiser, or you prefer this Super Meteor where you can take the rear seats off and have a bobber anyway. It's, you know, it's swings and roundabouts really. But yeah, guys, hope you've enjoyed coming along with me on this ride and seeing some of the scenery and seeing some of the places that are local to where I live. And you know, at the end of the day, a lot of these videos that I'm posting are about me tooling around on either the V-Strom or the Super Meteor, but it's nice to get these videos out to you and let you see what this part of southern Spain's like. So today starts out really cool this morning, about 12 degrees. It's got to about 23 degrees now, and it's just superb riding weather. So guys, stay safe, ride safe, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed joining me on this journey. Peace out.